Senator Conway to return to session.
No decisions, no votes were taken in regards to during the executive session on the two items of which were discussed.
However, I would make a motion relative to the Cobblestone Square Apartments Company versus the Town of Cicero, that we make a motion that we authorize the supervisor to enter into a final stipulation and agreement relative to that pending litigation regarding parcel 053-02-46, that the assessed value be reduced to $15,000, parcel 053-02-33.5, that parcel be reduced to $30,000, parcel 053-02-33.34 be reduced to $21,000, and parcel 053-02-33.3 be reduced to $31,000. And then along with that, any and all other documentation as our attorney deems necessary and appropriate to resolve the pending matter with the Cobblestone Square Apartments.
Second.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Jennings?
Yes.
Ms. Simbrano?
Yes.
Mr. Coral?
Yes.
Ms. Boyke?
Yes. And along with that, I would like to make a recommendation to authorize $7,500 to finish the audit for the Justice Department.
Second.
No.
7,500.
Do you have to say to who again? Do you have to mention the person again, or no? That's not necessary.
Bowers and Company, who is completed the first portion of it.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Jennings?
Yes.
Ms. Simbrano?
Yes.
Mr. Coral?
Yes.
Ms. Boyke?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, with that, I believe we are to the, I'm sorry. We had a request from Mr. Malette. He had submitted a statement, and he's asked that we read this. Do you want me? You asked, or you asked me to read it. I will do that for you.
Can you hear Judy? Can you hear?
You know, one of the things I can hear a little better tonight.
Good, I'm glad. We're trying to do, obviously, everything we can to accommodate you.
I can't hear you. You're not speaking in the microphone.
I am, can everyone else hear me?
No.
All right, let me go over here. How's this one?
Oh, better.
Okay, all right.
This one wasn't working last time. Can we get that fixed, Tracy?
I'll look at it.
You want me to read this or you want to read it?
I said I would read it if you would
Good.
like me to.
No problem with that.
Okay, you want
You
to
can have a
say
seat.
that? You can, you want, okay. This was submitted, it says, as former town Cicero supervisor, I am concerned that most governments have forgotten their largest asset and provider, the resident. I would like to ask the board members the following questions. Cicero is a board-operated town, so these questions are directed to the board members and the liaison if applicable. And it says end of statement. Number one, what is the status of the Broad revitalization? Does the board plan on continuing this project? I can answer that. The status of the Broad revitalization right now is that, as previously stated, the archaeological and the endangered species phase 1 have been completed. This was part of the Saratoga Associates contract, which is being paid for through them. I received a call yesterday, and I have a meeting with Saratoga Associates tomorrow in regards to those two phases that have been done. Also, they are supposed to be bringing to me at that time these statements from the DOT who have been in possession of the concepts that were presented to them approximately 2 months ago. So that's the status on that. This says it's a very small portion of the town. Why spend this much money when the entire town is in financial distress? Well, this money was already appropriated, and no more money is being spent than what was originally appropriated at this time. It says, has any monies been spent this year? Yes, and that's been specific across, and we've stated it right along. Whatever the contract monies, I don't have the full amount, but it was $230,000 that was appropriated to Saratoga Associates. And I believe we are at $218,000 approximately at this time. And it says, any funds budgeted? The answer is no. There is no money budgeted for economic development. Number 2, why would you approve an $8,500 expenditure for an audit of the Justice Department without any explanation to the people apparently done in executive session? First of all, it was not done in executive session. It was at a previous town board meeting that was approved, and the audit was done because an internal audit had not been done in the town ever. And it was necessary because we have obviously a new judge coming in January, and it was necessary to make sure that we are in compliance to all of our town financing. It says what firm was appointed to do the audit. Their name is Bowers and Company. And what board member asked for them to do the audit? It was my recommendation. And does each board member have knowledge of the law of the executive sessions? The answer is yes. Number 3, I have never heard any board member question any expenditure brought up by any department. Can any board member recall a question on the expenditures? I do believe that this was brought up at the last town board meeting by Mr. Corll in regards to drainage. And Jessica is always asking questions about money being spent, and I think she will attest to that. And Vern, as well as Lynn and myself, so the answer is yes. Was there any quotations from other firms requested? Yes, there was, in regards to the drainage, which was, there were 3 different quotes that were brought in. Did any board member question why there were no other quotes? Well, there were quotes, so there was no question about that. What is the maximum that can be spent without a bid? I am not sure of that. Is there somebody that can answer that for me?
Depends whether it's service or contractual. If it's, I think the threshold is 30,000 for one and 10,000 for the other. 30, I'm sure. I'm not sure on the 10. But depends whether it's a service, as in attorneys and engineering and accounting, or is it a contract, such as what Chris has to go up against.
Okay.
Like paving roads and et cetera.
Okay. Public meeting that the audience is entitled to hear every word that is spoken. Does this board plan on any corrective action? We have gone through every bit of our records, and this room is in full ADA compliance and regulations. Tracy has gone above and beyond to make sure that we are ADA approved. The board voted to stop shared services agreement with the town of Salina. The supervisor said she would interview prospective assessors. Is there any report on this? Yes, I am in process of interviewing. I have set up for a second interview with 2 perspectives. And what else is this? Okay. Yes, the answer is yes. I am in process of doing that. Number 7, some time ago, the supervisor asked each department to cut their expenditures by 15%. And did any department head do this? Every one of them did. And this was way back 2 months ago, or 2 months into the year. And as a matter of fact, some of them cut more than 50% where they found an opportunity to help. And I believe I've answered all of your questions.
May I say something?
Certainly.
I'm concerned that we're living in an age where nobody knows what's happening in government. We've seen the Jordan Albert School thing. I think we're seeing it here. I don't think the people here know what's happening. I've read the minutes, I know how to read them, I know a little bit about the law. And I'm concerned that I just don't think that we're following the rules of the road.
The minutes that we present are more extensive than pretty much any other town. Our minutes are above and beyond in explanation. And I have asked about that, and I've been told that we do not have to be as explicit in explaining in our minutes. So we are going above and beyond. I'm concerned, Roy, at what you're talking about.
Okay, now one other question. I'm hard of hearing. I've got this thing on that you folks want everybody to wear. It's not going to work unless everybody talks into a microphone that works. I see everybody up there, go to watch a rock concert, everybody got the microphone right up their mouth. Everybody here says something like this. You hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, you got good ears.
I'm very fortunate.
Yeah, but the point is that, have you done anything budget-wise to do something about this sound system?
This sound system is approved by ADA. Obviously, we have a microphone up here that is bad, and we will take care of that. As far as budgets for a better sound system, we are in dire trouble with our budget. And you just asked me before who cut the budget, and now you're looking for me to find money in the budget? It's not possible. We are approved.
Well, you took a bond anticipation note out for $200-some thousand or something.
400.
400,000? You're going to bond that amount?
No.
You're not going to bond it, are you?
Shirley?
It's a BAN, it's a bond anticipation note. We do not have any plans to do a bond.
You have to use a tax anticipation note, I believe.
No, we use a BAN, it's a bond anticipation note, or tax anticipation note, something differently. That's anticipating tax revenues that are coming in.
Okay, you got revenue coming in to pay it?
Yes, we do, it's in the budget. We have to appropriate X amount of dollars for the next 5 years to pay toward principal and interest.
You've got one of the highest budgets this town has ever seen. And I just can't believe the amount of money you're spending up there without asking somebody for some verification on some of this money.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, Roy.
Well,
Any money,
I'm talking about, the department head comes up and says he needs $400,000 for a truck or something. Nobody questions and wants to know, did you get other bids? I'm not picking on the highway department especially. But where is the financial security for the people? People here are hurting.
we are